I have gone ahead and created the remaining elevations. I will not say that I have completed the elevations because I will still need to make revisions right up to the last minute before printing the complete set of working drawings. As you can see, I have copied the image of the floor plan. I have rotated and clipped the XREF as required. You may decide that there is no need to clip the XREF, and you may have thought of another method to accomplish the same task. I want to reinforce that AutoCAD is like a toolbox with many tools that we all use. Sometimes there are more tools than we need, and sometimes we use different tools than our colleagues to accomplish the same task. As long as you are being efficient, you are using AutoCAD to its full potential. I have decided to make changes already. I'm going to change the color of the construction line layer, and as you can see, I have even modified the layer names. Changing it to a darker shade of gray will make it easier to view on screen. I'm going to close this drawing, but before I do that, I'd like to go back to the XREF Manager and point out that the floor plan is being referenced as an overlay, as you can see. When I XREF the elevation to my architectural sheet, the floor plan will not be visible because it is an overlay. I will close this drawing, saving changes. I'd like to begin a new drawing file. Selecting a template, you can select a drawing template or a DWG or a DWS. I'm going to select a drawing, and I will use the A2 sheet. I'm going to select Open, and this is now my drawing for my elevation architectural sheet. I will go ahead and select File, Save As, and I will simply select the name, coming down here to File Name, changing it from a 2 to a 3. Selecting Save. This is now my A3 sheet. I will double click on the text, change that to A3, and select OK. I will go to Insert, XREF Manager, and simply detach the floor plan. Going to Model Space, I will zoom out. I'm going to move the dimensions out of the way. I may need them. Now, the benefit of having used that architectural sheet as a template is that I already have a title to work with and I have a dimension style. If I need to print this at a different scale, I can simply modify the dimension style from this location. I'm going to set my layer to 0. When you externally reference a file, it is placed on the current layer. I always like placing it on layer 0. Typing XR at the command line, selecting Attach, and attaching the elevation. Selecting Open, and before I do that, once again pointing out that you can see the image of the floor plan here. Again, it is an overlay, so it will not appear in model space of the A3 sheet. Select Open. I do want to place it at x equals 0, y equals 0. Selecting OK. Zoom Extents, and there we have the elevation without the XREF of the floor plan. Switching back to Layout 1, I can take this viewport. It was already sized to a 1/4 inch, and I can move this viewport, and then I can copy the viewport. Turning ortho on using the F8 key, and moving this one up a little bit, Double-clicking inside of this viewport, I can now pan my view and select the other elevation. Double-click outside of the floating model space viewport, and it looks as if I will need an A4 sheet to show the other two elevations. As far as the construction lines go, I do not want to see them when I print out my working drawings, so I will freeze that layer when the time comes. You see that I also added text to identify the elevation. That makes it easier to select the existing text and simply make a modification to that. Scale still remains 1/4 inch, and then what I will do is place the text for all of the elevations and continue with the dimensions, the notes, and the elevation markers.